So, Vidyaji, namaste. Good morning, Vidyaji.
Namaste ji.
You want us to, the homework for the break is all the sentences to be translated from 11 to 20 from exercise 1 to current, right? Exercise
Right.
8,
Because we had done 1 to 10 as homework during the course. For the vacation, we can go back, and for the break, we can go back and resume another set of 10 sentences from the beginning.
Okay. And all the way to whatever the current.
Yes. And I'm sure Swaminiji will say for anybody who wants more homework, then we can start 21 to the remaining sentences.
Okay.
And that is only part of the homework. The other half of the homework is to memorize the nominal declensions. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. You
Rama,
mentioned that yesterday.
yes. Ramaha, etc. So that we can, we can build on what we have been studied, whatever we have studied so far. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Let us get started. Vidyaji, handle the prayers, please. You please you do that so nicely, and you make sure that everybody gets a chance. Please do that.
Yes, Swaminiji. So, those of you who would like to chant, please unmute yourself. And those others, you can actually mute yourself, but chant along with whoever is chanting on the open microphone. So just put up your hand so you will surface to the top of the windows there, and you may please start. Harinder ji.
Shuklam Bharadharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vikhnopashantaye.
Gordon ji.
Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada.
The next, Yena Kshara Samam Nayam. Yes, Bhaskar ji.
Enakshara samamnayam abhigamya maheshwarat kritsnam vyakaranam roktam tasmai paninaye namaha.
Adhigamya Maheshwarat.
Oh.
The next one. Put up your hand as in the Zoom hand, because I can't see all the people on the window. Sahana Vavatu. Jyoti ji. Jyoti ji, your volume is something. Kate ji. You have to unmute.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Punaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastuma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you. Now, let us see. Here we both are. And this would be a nice time for us to take a little stock, because you see, this is very weird to teach this language on Zoom. And, I have no idea what is working, what is not working, how much and what not, and how, etc. So it would be nice to get some feedback, some perspective from all of you, so that it's in the interest of how perhaps certain things we may not be able to do anything about, that we have to see, because some things to do with the format, etc. But certain things perhaps we can strive to give more of a seamless experience or something like that. And so it would be nice to have some kind of a conversation where everybody has a chance to speak a little bit. And today I had so many ideas. I thought, and I'm sure Vidya ji also did, so of teaching some more declensions, asmad, yushmad, and tat shabda, masculine, feminine, neuter. But all that can wait. This is important, because if if it's a question of doing something to better assimilate, because everybody also has a what is that called, different way of assimilating, different way of working. Sometimes certain things work better for some people and certain things don't work better for some people. And I'm also aware, these are some of the things. I'm just throwing things out so that you can look at some of the things that speak to you, that grab you, and then you can you can give some feedback. So I'm also aware that some people are gifted speakers, and they have no problem sharing their thoughts, sharing their ideas, and participating, whereas some people may be a little more hesitant, little more shy. And that again has to do with people's personalities, and sometimes it's not the question of shyness. Some people like to hang back and listen and then participate later on. So there are many reasons for all this. And this is why it will be nice to have some kind of a conversation about this, some kind of a samvada about this. And as I have mentioned in another context before, we have four kinds of dialogues, in the Shastra. One is Vada. Vada means, you say potato, I say potato, tomato, and then this is how it is. I say something, you counter it, and so this is Vada. Like, between people. One may say, I want to see a movie and then go to dinner, and the other one may say, no, I don't want to see a movie, I want to go straight away to dinner. This is some way of negotiating. This could be Vada. Then we have Samvada, which is a dialogue for the sake of learning, from the standpoint of making this learning experience more fruitful and more better for the students, and etc. So questions asked from that standpoint, and suggestions or anything talked about from that standpoint is called Samvada. Then we have another kind of a dialogue called Jalpa. Jalpa means each person comes and talks about themselves and their own ideas without really taking anything else into account. Kind of like some of our interfaith dialogues, So everybody comes and talks about their own religion and then goes away. There is no engagement really. And then worse than Jalpa is Vitanda, the last kind of quote unquote dialogue. It's like anything you say or you do is wrong because you have done it. This in short is Vitanda. So I hope that we can keep our conversations into the preferably in the Samvada category, and maybe sometimes Vada category also, but then not descend into Vitanda or Jalpa. Okay, so that is one thing I wanted to say. And then it may help to have some questions that we ask, so that you can, it'll help to brainstorm and think about some kind of things and keep the conversation focused on this. So I will say a couple of things that I would like to know. And then I will first open it up for Vidyaji also, and then you can take those notes down and see that as an opening, and then start sharing. So one of the things I would like to know, it's always miraculous to see how much one has understood and what one has gained, despite this two-dimensional form of learning, where so many things we want to do but so many things are limited. And so one of the things I would like to know is, what do you feel like you have gained from, what is this, the 20th class or something? Yeah, so maybe 10 weeks, 20 classes, something like this. So what are some things that you have gained in this participation? What have you got? What is some takeaway? What is something that has worked for you? And what are some of the highlights of this engagement for you? And then the other thing I would like to know is, what can make the learning experience for you, what can enhance the learning experience for you, based on your own situation and way of participation, etc., etc. So these two things I would like to know. Vidyaji, you can add to this, or talk about anything else that you would like to.
First and foremost, thank you very much, Swaminiji, for including me in this project. It has been wonderful. And Sanskritam is, I cannot say things like I love Sanskritam, because that's very cheesy or whatever. But it is very fulfilling, in the sense that you get to, especially when we are pursuing Vedanta, it is very beneficial, because we are able to see we are able to understand the meaning of what Swaminiji explains. Swaminiji explains wonderfully well, but learning Sanskritam enhances our understanding experience. That is an important aspect. And so you're all in this journey, and that is wonderful. Many of you have been consistently coming to class. And now it's a matter of how do you incorporate the Sanskritam that you're learning. So the practice sessions would be, the vibhakti is very important. A sentence contains only one verb, but there are many nouns in a sentence. So the case endings are very important, and you can look at it as two-pronged. First, functionality, what is the function of any vibhakti, and just stick to one Rama Shabdaha and understand the functionality, and then you translate it to the other templates. So if you take such approaches, you will realize that your retention of what you're learning is wonderful. And I cannot be talking too much more. So with that, I will hand it back to Swaminiji.
1 minute. What would you like to know from them?
Oh, I would like you all to, as Swaminiji has said, I know that one of you has complained to me, not complained, has told me that my handwriting is not the best format for you to be looking at and learning. So I will try to certainly retain it, but I do love to me, handwriting is part of the dhyanam. And of course, nobody wants to be looking at other people's laundry. So like that, nobody wants to be looking at other people's handwriting. But I would certainly recommend that you incorporate practices from Sanskritam, which help you with your own Vedanta practice. So towards that end, you may certainly give feedback. My style is very different. Many times I'm very flippant. And so you could certainly respond what works and what does not work. And I will also, if needed, provide just the recitation of the various forms, the declensions, so that you can actually record yourself and listen to it over and over again. And you can, as you learn, you will realize, oh, I have made a mistake in that thing, that one was perfect. So you'll be able to have those kind of assessments. So I would like you to contribute and say what works and what doesn't work. Yes, Swaminiji.
Yes, I would say what works and what can be done slightly differently. That's what I would rephrase it like that, to keep it within the Vada Samvada area.
Yes, so what works and
Yeah.
what you would like.
Yeah, what you would like more of, what you would like to see more of, and what would, what is your way of learning that you can, that you can share for in that. Okay. Yeah, we can start with Kate. She has a cute little hand up there.
I would like to say that I really like Vidyaji's handwriting, and I enjoy watching her write because she writes so quickly, and it's just beautiful to see that so quick, because I myself have to spend so much time on each letter, so it's very, very good to see the flow of Devanagari, the way she does it. And that's been helpful to me. It's been helpful to have the little quizzes where we go through the vocabulary, because my vocabulary has been very limited. So those two things are things I would like to say are working.
Thank you. Next, who would like to go next? Yes. Please.
Okay, I'd like to first compliment both Swaminiji and Vidyaji. You've been excellent teachers. You get your points across. Handwriting is quite legible. I don't think you can ask for anything more. So it's something very mesmerizing. I'm perhaps the oldest member in this group, and I have a problem with retention. And I also have a problem of not completing the homework. I'm in arrears of homework. I hope to catch up during this break. Problem is I have too many other things on my to-do list, and this is not getting the priority. I think today we have just completed a couple of them, and I should be able to come to this one. So it's a question of the language is beautiful. It is very well structured. And as both of you have been stressing, it's important to memorize that and then retain it and bring it out. So without looking at the book, I'm unable to do any part of the homework really. I don't know whether it's cheating or not, but then there's one, it's a handicap, my handicap. I don't think it's a problem to do with the way you have taught. As I said, during this break, I think I should be able to make up and catch up with this. Only one suggestion. I know it's quite difficult because Swamiji has a week-long engagement. Where it's possible, instead of Saturday and Sunday, one lecture in the midweek and one on Saturday or Sunday. If it's possible, it will be sort of helpful, sort of instead of putting everything. Yeah,
that's an excellent suggestion. We will look into that.
Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful suggestion. And take your time doing the homework. There is no rush. Yeah, no problem at all. Next, yes.
Bhaskar ji has put up his hand.
Yeah, but that's why he's now here, spotlit.
Namaskara, Swaminiji.
Namaskara, Helipa.
And namaskara to Vidyaji too. thank you very much for the way you've been teaching us Sanskritam. I have had previously taken classes from Janani and Chris. They've all helped earlier, and I've also done some other Sanskritam learning, but this is amazing. The way you, both of you are teaching is amazing. Also, this has given me such an appreciation of the language that the mantras that I used to chant were just sound. Now, some of it makes sense. Not all of it, obviously, but some of it does make sense. So that is the interesting learning that I have had. Also, it is so enchanting. The language itself is so enchanting that many times it so happens, even at night when I'm asleep, I am thinking of, what vibhakti, what.
Nice. That's
So,
wonderful.
though I don't get it right, but still I'm, so much immersed in that. Similar to Mr. Rajgopal, what he was saying, I have a problem of retention. I have to have the book, in fact, couple of books before I can answer all the homework, do the
That's
homework.
okay. That's okay. It's not, that's okay. It's like, I think of it as choosing the flowers to make a garland. Like the sentence is the garland, and you're choosing the
Right.
flowers, words from the books. No problem.
How nice, how nicely put, Swamiji.
Yeah.
So again, this suggestion about one midweek and one the weekend sounds very
I
good.
like that also. Okay.
The other thing, of course, I am from the West Coast.
Yeah.
So our timing, we have to obviously get up a little earlier
Yes.
to attend this class. But otherwise, you have to stay up very late in India. So the people in attending from India, it would be difficult either. So some of the things that you show and share on the screen, sometimes I have a difficulty getting to that. I would appreciate we find some way of kind of consolidating some of those things and how we can make it easily available to us.
Yeah, that is something.
So
That is something.
a lot of the problem is mine, but still, I wish somehow we find a good way of sharing the many of the things that you show, whether it's in our WhatsApp group or whether it by
Yeah, it can be
email.
sent in the WhatsApp group. I didn't know that there was one until recently, but that's wonderful. It can be shown in that group. It can be shared in that, if that's easier. Okay. Yeah.
So that would be my suggestion. And
Thank you.
otherwise, amazing. I'm learning a lot, and thank you both.
Wonderful.
Both of you have been doing. So it's also interesting to hear all the stories that go behind why this is what it is.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh,
Just wanted to add to what Bhaskarji said. I also have the same, this one. When I recite a mantra in front of this one, I also start analyzing this one and trying to say how these words have been formed.
yeah.
My concentration towards God slightly gets reduced, but I presume that is excusable. Thank you.
Well, Sanskritam is Deva Bhasha, so it is a manifestation of Bhagavan. So no problem.
By the way, I wanted to claim I'm the oldest member anyway, we can.
We both can have it.
We can debate it out.
Yeah, we both can have a discussion. I think even Joshi ji would like to join that discussion. You can have that later on the WhatsApp group, perhaps. So, Murli.
Yeah, we would like to thank Swaminiji and Vidyaji for all this teaching. I think we have benefited quite a bit in the last 20 classes. Prior to this, I had attended some session few years back. My classmates were 5-6 years old, and I had a lot of inhibition, among that class. I think here I feel more at home. I think similar age groups. And like others mentioned, I think we are able to appreciate the chants a little bit better. Like we also observe that we are trying to understand the words while chanting. Little bit of disruption there, but I think it will go away as we internalize the words. You want to say anything?
Yeah, I have really loved the interaction that we get in these classes, and I've been able to laugh at myself so many times and enjoyed it. And both of you brings a unique way of teaching to it, which has really made it very interesting and fun-filled. I came with an open mind. I didn't know what I would learn here. I just said, okay, let's start seeing what the Sanskrit classes are, and I'll attend them. And I've been enjoying them like thoroughly. And the word meaning is in the word itself, is what we were told in the first class, and that is opening up so much more. And I have no suggestions of how to enhance it. I think it's really enjoyable the way it is.
Can I say? Yeah. Can you see my hand?
Harinder, you wanted to say something? Yeah.
Yes, Swamija. I really appreciate being with everyone in the classroom. It's such a supportive environment. And also it really helps me to hear Vidyaji take some of the things that Swamiji taught and reiterate it in her own unique way. It's really, really helpful. It would really help me if we could have more contextualized examples from the Vedanta texts instead of isolated sentences. Maybe look at a verse and analyze some parts of it. Maybe use some of the stories we tell as part of the when Swamiji unfolds things in simplified ways. That would help me retain things better when there's a story attached to it. And I'm gonna do more handwriting practice, and then I'll try to do the noun declensions using more nouns that we find in the Vedanta texts, so I can recognize them more easily. Thank you so much.
Very nice. Wonderful. Next, who would like to? Okay. 1 minute.
Yeah, I joined late, almost 3 weeks late. So I was just wondering whether I'll be really able to, cope up with all the classes I missed. But I went through all the recordings and tried to reach a certain level. Still, I need to do a lot more. But it has really helped me a lot. And I have been able to, I enjoy making those sentences. And then, of course, grammatically, still I have to do a lot more. But that helps me because when I get back my homework, I see all the mistakes that I have done. And that helps my learning too. Only thing is, even I'm a little behind in because other things I have to take care of. So a little behind in submitting my homework. So anyway, in the holidays, is it okay if I keep, sending the work?
Yes.
And now and then?
Yes, please keep sending.
Yeah. I'm planning to do that because I'll have time now to do more of it. And thank you so much. And I'm really gaining a lot out of these classes, and I'm enjoying it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Next.
Sominiji.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to namaskaram.
I don't see you. Where are you? I can't see
Here.
where you are. Yes, I know you are here, but I'm not able to locate the little, what is that called, you know?
If you
The,
can put up your hand,
Ah, there you
Vasanti ji, maybe.
you know, there is, it's like a small little postage stamp. I'm trying to look at so many places. Yes. Okay,
I don't
very
know
good.
how to put up my hand.
It doesn't matter. You're here now. Don't put up your hand. Talk.
Would first, of course, thank you so much, Sominiji, Vidyaji. It's a very, very supportive environment. So when I ask questions and all, I don't feel bad about asking questions which may be silly, but you've given in that painstaking corrections which Swamniji does. I'm very thankful. I also was thinking about grace of Bhagwan, and I thought, well, this is grace when your teacher, your guru, is teaching Sanskrit. It's totally Bhagwan teaching Sanskrit. So that's the way I look at it. Of course, there's a lot of when we do the homework, I have to keep going back and forth into the books, like they say. And without that, I would never be able to get anything right. But definitely, the understanding has there is more of a glimmer of understanding, because when earlier I used to try and do the subject verb agreement and always get it wrong, and I wondered why am I such a buddhu? I'm not getting it right at all. And then slowly, I see that with practice, I'm able to get things right, and I feel good about it. Thank you so much, Somniji, Vidyaji.
Thank you. Thank you. Who would like to be next?
Thank you, Swaminiji. Thank you, Vidyaji. Thank you, all the students, for making this experience a wonderful journey. I just want to say, I mean, when the pandemic hit and I had to teach medical students virtually, I thought, oh, virtual teaching is really hard. But now I have to say virtual learning is even harder. And that too, language learning was even more harder. But I think you both really made it really simplified it. And also the beauty is in this class, every one of us are in different level, which is what I think makes it challenging, but at the same time makes it interesting. Because as the shloka says, that you learn 1/4 from the teachers and 1/4 from the classmates, and 1/4 by yourself. I mean, I can recite it now, but I really experience that in this class. And especially when we attend live. I mean, YouTube is great to review, but when we attend live, when you make us participate, and we make mistakes, but that is how I think we are learning. So it has been really wonderful. And I also liked Harinderji's comment. I would like to connect it with more with the Vedanta, because that is the whole reason for all of us learning this language. So that would be great if, I mean, I do see in Vedanta classes that you're bringing Sanskritam, but I want to bring Vedanta into the Sanskrit classes more. So that would be my request. And as always, I wrote a poem, but I'll send it to you later, and I'll share it with the
Lakshmi
WhatsApp.
writes one poem for every Chandogya Upanishad class, and she will have a publication soon on Chandogya poems. Yeah.
It's all your grace. So
Yeah.
I wrote one about the Sanskritam class, so I'll just send it to the group and
Okay.
you will.
Okay. Send it to everybody. Send it to WhatsApp group. Wonderful.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Anybody else would like to share? Next.
Swamiji.
I'll share.
Namaste, Swaminiji. Thank you so much, Vidyaji. I started with a clean slate just because Swaminiji.
Oh, you are there.
Is somebody else talking?
Yeah, you see, this is the place when your picture comes here, you talk. But now, so you can finish saying and then Sarah will talk. Okay, tell.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sarah. I didn't see you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You are muted, Sarah.
You should go. You go. You go. Okay.
You've gone mute again.
Okay, I got into the class late. I've been trying to catch up. It's fantastic. I tried so hard to find a good teacher, and I think I've been not very good at finding good teachers myself. That's my own issue. But this has been great for me because I think it's been, especially because it's a group setting, and it's very humbling to be one of many, and that's an excellent learning experience. That's been the most valuable thing to me about this class. And of course, my pranams to Swaminiji and to Vidya for all their help. I wanted to make a couple suggestions, and for me, reading the book has been difficult. I have to get a magnifying glass to see the letters, and so I think if I had access, like maybe if we did more with WhatsApp in asking each other questions, like I just had questions about a few of the words, whether they were typos or not, whether they were right or not, and I didn't know, so I didn't know how seriously to take them and whether to look up why they were written the way they were. So that's one thing. And then another thing is it would be really great if we had some recordings of the sentences in the text, because I don't know what they sound like, and it would really help me integrate what I know with those sentences. If I know what they sound like, then I can hear the sandhis and I can get used to listening for them. The other thing would be to have a recording of the vibhaktis. Like to have the way that it's chanted. I don't really know that, and I've heard it, but having someone consistently do that work so you can get used to listening to that voice, because all voices are different. And of course, if I do it myself, it's not going to be what I would want to learn from. Mm-hmm. So having something to learn from consistently along those lines would be very, very helpful. Yes. And I just wanted to say that having immediate feedback or relatively immediate feedback on the homework is so wonderful. It's just because you try so hard to get the vibhakti usage right, and of course it's very hard to do. And then when you get feedback almost right away about right uses of those structures, it's so much better than having to, talk about it or even, tease it out yourself. So I wanted to thank you so much for that, because I know it's a lot of work and there's a lot of people, so it's huge what you're doing, and I appreciate it greatly.
Thank you. You're welcome. And I like this suggestion because we can we can take turns reading out the sentences of the homework. That's also listening practice and reading practice. And then say, instead of saying 1 to 10, just read those 1 to 10. And then we can try that. And the Vibhaktis, Vidyaji has already said that they will be doing something about recording that. That will be nice also. Nice suggestions. Thank you. Surekha?
Yeah, as I stated, thank you, both of you. And I just started because Swamini had started Sanskrit class, and I just joined the group. But eventually I should thank the whole group also. I think Chris started this WhatsApp group, which helped us with the interaction, and he used to send all the homework, everything. And we formed a small group with the participants here. It's like blind leading the blind. But in the end, I think because of each other's feedback, I could learn a little bit better. And I thank everyone. And Swamini's homework, whenever I used to come, I used to feel very happy to see all the red marks. It used to remind me of my childhood homework, and I could improve on. I hope I'll be coming somewhere. But thank you.
I'm not
I really
using
enjoyed
red.
it.
That's the only thing. Correct?
Okay. No red, but I like to see that, okay, I have to.
Black.
I'm doing mistakes so that I can learn.
Yes, yes. I got the spirit of it.
Yes. Thank you so much, Swami.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Vidyaji.
Next, anybody would like to go?
Swamiji, I don't know how to put my hand up, but this is Mridula. Pranam Swamiji and Vidyaji, Vidya. And this is my first ever Sanskritam class. I haven't been in, and thank you to Vasanti for suggesting that I should be in it. And I haven't been turning in my homework, so it's some of them is done and half done. So I'll try to catch up, and if it's okay, I'll keep sending it.
Yes, send it.
Thanks to all the students. The WhatsApp group is very helpful. I feel like I'm still in the crawling stage, and trying to understand all the different verbs and vibhaktis and everything. I think my problem is I don't do well with online classes, but having two great teachers, that's a blessing. So I will try to continue and work on it. Yeah, I like the suggestion of reading the sentences. That I think that would be helpful. And also Harinder's suggestion of having the examples from Vedanta classes, that would be helpful too. Thank you.
Thank you. For some reason, I'm not able to add the spotlight for you, Varun, but you can speak from there itself.
Yeah, Swamini, I'm at work, but I don't.
That's why.
I didn't want to miss the chance to say thank you to you and Vidyaji, and so that's why I said I need to come to Zoom and say thank you personally. Thank you for taking time for like doing correcting the homework, and for me the homework is the best thing in there, because I know myself. I can listen to the classes and I say that I know. I don't have to do anything afterwards. And if the homework tells you no, where you're really standing, and you need to correct, and especially, and thanks to you and Vidyaji, I don't know like how you do take so much time to correct each and every mistake, but it's really thank you. The thing is that keeps us on track. Otherwise, it's very easy in any new language to stay out of track and then lose the charm out of it. Thank you for doing it, Swamini.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to say things? Chris, you want to say anything?
May I say something, Swamini?
Yes. Who is that?
This is Maithili, but there's somebody who's already speaking. I will go after.
Okay. Who is talking now? Who would like to talk?
Swaminiji, thank you. This is Chris.
Okay, here.
I would just like to say thank both of you for doing the homework. I mean, that's a lot of work. that's many hours. Thank you very much for grading homework. I mean, that was not expected, especially with such a big class. Thank you very much for that. And I would like to say that I really appreciate Vidyaji's style of when she's constructing sentences off of the paper, just in her head, from the vocabulary list. I think that's very helpful, and it kind of helped me assimilate the language at a different level than when it's just purely on paper. That was very helpful. Thank you so much.
I have to comment that Chris is wonderful, and he's produced a lot of resources that the class is able to use. So
Yes.
that's great. Thank
Yes.
you, Chris.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chris. Yes, Maithili?
Namaste, Swaminiji and Vidyaji. I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank you profusely, both of you. I basically started clean slate. I had no experience with Sanskrit. I only started learning some slokas, and that's the reason that I wanted to learn Sanskrit to be able to pronounce. But this experience has been so full, in the sense that it is humbling, it has been educational, it has been mind-boggling, it has been challenging, it has been intimidating as well in many ways. But I have been very bad with my homework. As I said, I'm a very slow learner. I need to take baby steps. I'm way far behind in the embryonic stage. But because Swaminiji has insisted that continue to attend, I do attend, and I do find it very useful, even though I'm embryonic in all days. When I see everybody answering like that at the click of the finger, I'm still thinking about it and stuff, but it helps me a lot. It helps me to realize where I stand, and I will continue to come no matter where I am. And as Sureka ji pointed out, we have a little small group that we formed to learn and to review these lessons, and we are just taking baby steps. So we will be there one day where, like somebody pointed out that they wanted to be the student that Swaminiji wanted. We will come there one day, we promise. But until then, thank you for your patience, for both of you. You have done an extremely good job. I'm so blessed and honored to be part of this group. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please continue to participate. And I have some ideas about what you said also, and we will discuss that a little later. Anyone else would like to have a chance to speak? Gordon?
I wanted to say thank you, Swaminiji and Vidyaji. It's been an honor to learn from you. You have so much knowledge. This has been a great experience. The morning pujas and the evening pujas that I do. I've started to realize with over the years that we've had our shrine, I probably speak more Sanskrit in my life than English anymore, if you add it up all together. And then I started to realize there are many things that I don't even understand what I'm saying. So I definitely wanted to put in more time in learning in Sanskrit. I did want to reiterate for the people in the class that what our dear Mayaskariji would always say in our Bhagavad Gita home study class, that nobody is behind and nobody is ahead. Mm-hmm. So don't look at your fellow students and think, oh, they're so good, and don't think, oh, I have not done my homework. I totally understand the difficulty of integrating homework into a busy life. I really feel like sometimes I do not have the time that I would like to devote to it, but everybody understand you can take things at your own pace. Challenge yourself, of course. Try to get everything done on time, but don't berate yourself if it's not happening. I'm very encouraged by the progress that we've all made. We've all gone from wherever we started from. We've made enormous progress in the few weeks we spent together. But the more we apply, the more we'll make it. In terms of anything that I would have changed, when we were been working with Antoine's book, unfortunately the scan is very blurry in some of the vocabulary.
Yes.
I noticed that some of you have some beautiful fonts, and it would be nice to just, I noticed the flashcards, the font on there is very easy to read. So as my eyes are aging, I need it to be not only not blurry, but also something that I can put on the computer screen and maybe enlarge. Yes. So I'm very grateful to those of you who have been putting things down in another form, so that at least I can scan through the vocabulary lists and make sure that I'm seeing the right letters. The one thing I don't like about the flashcards, and this has nothing to do with our class production, but when I look at the flashcards, they have the Sanskrit, and I'm not sure that I'm understanding the pronunciation. So if they had a little icon you could click on and hear it, or what is it called, the transliteration of it,
yes,
would have been helpful to me in looking at some of those, because I'm still, I feel like I'm not expert in looking at Devanagari and making the transition. So, and a couple of things are challenging because there are consonants that I'm not familiar enough with that I could just produce it momentarily. So that is nothing criticism of our class, but just in terms of resources, there's another resource, and I will try to see what I can do about getting my font set up, and maybe hopefully produce some resources myself that I will share with the rest of the class.
Thank you.
So once again, thank you so much.
Yes, maybe it'll be a sadhana down the road to type up the book. You know, that might be.
Were you saying that is already in the works, or planned in the future?
That may be a nice sadhana. I don't.
That would be a nice sadhana.
That would be a nice sadhana. Thank you, Gordon.
Thank you.
Jyoti would like to say something.
Namaskar. I don't know if you can hear my voice.
Yes, I can hear your voice.
Yeah. Thanking Ishvara for giving you in my life and Swamiji. And I like the suggestion. I don't want to take too much time. The spacing the classes would really help, because putting both of them together and sitting in the evening has been little, both are two different topics that you cover and Vidyaji covers. So spacing the classes makes sense. And posting the homeworks, the corrected sentences, because not all of us did the same sentences. So that would be really helpful. And dhanyavadaha for everything. Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Amala, did you want to say anything?
Nagi ji, I think, wants to say
Nagi
something.
ji is here.
Yeah, sure.
Is he here? Ah, there he is.
Yeah, namaste, Swamini ji.
Namaskar. How is your health? How are you feeling?
I'm better. Thank you. Good. Yeah, thank you.
Excellent.
Yeah. So when I started the class, I didn't know the alphabets. So that was intimidating. If I had taken the class outside, probably I would have gotten an F after 2 classes and dropped out. Thank you very much for letting me continue. Definitely, this is helping in chanting as well as in attending the Vedanta classes. Because earlier I was chanting with the Tamil pronunciation, looking at the Sanskrit words in Tamil. But now at least I can see the roots
Yes.
And pronounce it. And so that is making a big difference. But I know that probably I'm way behind. I must be the last one not doing any homework. Hopefully, I will catch up because I've not been spending time after the class, and I need to, put more effort. But at least this has created an interest for me, seeing the root and understanding in the Gita class and the other classes.
Yes.
So thank you very much.
Continue. It will, everybody learns at their own pace. That is all we can do. That is the best we can do. Yes. Thank you. Anyone else? Joshi ji, you want to say something?
Oh, yes, Swami ji. Do you understand Hindi?
हाँ जी बोलिए हिंदी में बोलिए
हाँ ऐसा है कि मेरे पास मिचिका जी की एंजॉयबल संस्कृत ग्रामर है लेकिन I cannot learn it without instruction. So it is very helpful for me to join this class. And यहाँ तो कोई संस्कृत पढ़ना नहीं चाहता. मुझे लगता है यहाँ कोई इंग्लिश ही नहीं जानता है, इसलिए यहाँ कोई संस्कृत ही पढ़ना नहीं चाहता है. हमारा डिवाइन मदर, हमारा माता जी की संस्कृत की क्लास नहीं ले रहे हैं, वो इसलिए मुझे बहुत ही अच्छा ये लगा, मुझे चांस मिला. इवन आई हैव फ्रॉम 15 Michika ji books, enjoyable Sanskrit grammars and others, but it was not possible to learn without instructions. So I think this class is very helpful, and I have only not this class, but I have darshans, and darshans is very helpful. My missus also very happy with you, since you want to get your darshans. And
where is she? Is she there?
Yes, come here. Okay. Out there, brother.
ગુજરાતી બોલો
હિન્દીમાં બોલ
હિન્દીમાં મને આવડશે.
She does not know Hindi.
Oh, Mataji.
She does not know Hindi. She is very active volunteer in our ashram.
Very nice.
She is very premier volunteer. We can say she is very premier volunteer. Our divine mother cannot attend any program without her.
Oh, that is wonderful.
She is very
she
active
has
volunteer.
a pure heart. Wonderful. It is very blessed.
She knows only Gujarati. She does not know Hindi.
कोई बात नहीं.
She knows only in Gujarati.
No
She is very. Even our divine mother do not take bhiksha from any other persons.
Oh.
But we serve 2 or 3 times in month.
Nice.
No. They takes only one time.
You are very blessed. Yes.
But we are her feelings are so cute that our divine mother, even on an evening, she serve bhiksha 3 or 2 times.
Nice.
That is the problem. That is the I want to bear.
Nice.
But beautiful Ardhanarishwara Tattva I've seen after a long time. Shiva Shakti. Namo Namah.
Thank you. Anybody else would like to talk? Amala, nice that you shared that other point. It is slowly uploading.
Yeah, it's already uploaded.
On white, what is that? White black
As a white background.
Yeah. Yeah, please share what you want to.
That's what I wanted to say. I've shared a better quality Antoine book with a white background.
Yeah, I see that. Very nice.
And I would like to take the opportunity to thank both of you for for the Sanskrit class. I was in the 2016 Vedanta 1 month Sanskrit class with Vidyaji.
Wonderful.
And I've been waiting for the next class Sanskrit. So I'm very grateful for that. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. Wonderful. Anyone else? Bhavani left or Bhavani is still here?
Swaminiji, I would like to just address
Yeah, please address.
what Gordon G had mentioned about the script.
Yeah.
I would like to reiterate that the script is very essential, because when we use the Roman script, we tend to include the English pronunciation or whatever the native pronunciation for the script would be. And during the Thanksgiving, I teach script also. So during the Thanksgiving break, I had done a project where I'm working on the Aditya Hridayam verses, and I use the Aditya Hridayam verses to both introduce the script as well as the pronunciation. And I go very slowly, and I have actually put it up on YouTube. So I will send the link to Swaminiji, and once, with her permission, I will forward it to others. And it is not difficult to learn the Devanagari script. It just we just need to have a method to the madness, and once you have that, you will be able to be the master of it in a very short, relatively short time frame.
You can just share it. You don't need my permission. You can just share it. I'm sure it will be very, very useful for everybody. Yes. So
I
there
will
are
do
some
so,
things,
Swami.
there are some things to sit with. One is, spacing the class out, one during the weekday and one during this time. That is something you and I can talk about. And the other thing that I'm thinking, from whatever people have said and the different levels that we see, and of course everybody has made tremendous progress in these 10 weeks, that from what I can see, and it is very palpable and perceptible. I also wonder, this is just a general thought that has come, is to have two classes on 2 days, and one of the class be more of a bridge class. You see what I'm saying? Like where it will be a lot of going over whatever has been gone over, with a little more uh, a little more emphasis on certain things, and then going perhaps at a slightly slower pace, and then one going at a little, at the normal pace that we have been going. So that is something for people to also consider, because sometimes it's helpful to attend both, and to uh, get the, keep in touch with the basics, and then also move forward. So that is something also to think about. You can email me and or Vidyaji, and let us know what you think about that. Vidyaji, do you have any thoughts on that?
My desire, Swaminiji, is first and foremost that you and I should come up with the whatever approach you take to teaching. We should take that process, and we should make our own study material, so that we don't have to keep jumping from one page of one to another to different resources and whatnot. That would be a wonderful thing if we are able to do that as a class. And then the other, yes, the split of the class during weekend and weekday, that works, that can work. Right now, this works for me based on the schedules that I have. But once we decide what we want to, I will try to work my schedule around that. And those of us, the one thing that I would say, sometimes I'm not able to attend Swaminiji's Chandogya Upanishad class in person, in which case I make it a point to catch up using the YouTube. So whether we move it to weekend and weekday or both being weekends, it might work sometimes and sometimes it may not work. If we just, when we are able to make time, at that time, if we are able to sit in the class and follow up, then the sanskara will develop in us where we make the time to sit in the class live. That is the case with respect to me and Swaminiji's Upanishad class. I was not able to attend anything regularly earlier, but this Chandogya Upanishad have been almost regular in the past couple of months or few months. So I think it's just a matter of it settling into our schedule once it gets decided. And bridge also will work, Swaminiji. Happy to participate in any way that will work for us.
Yeah, that is good. And here I thought you were warming up to Antoine. Slowly.
Well, some of the sentences, sometimes they make me go up the roof, but then
Yes.
it's because of your sense of humor that I'm able to keep it all together.
Yes. Well, if anybody, doesn't have anything to say, we can end it now. I mean, Bhavani was here, but I think she has left. And I don't know if anybody else has not had a turn and if you want to talk, but I don't think so. I think everybody has spoken from what I can see. But if there is anyone else who wants to say anything more, otherwise, this would be a good time to close. Yes?
I have put the YouTube link on the
Yeah,
chat.
Vidyaranyam. Very nice. Yeah, saw that. That will be wonderful.
Somaniji,
Yes.
having a lot of homework helps because those are the days I don't cook. So
Ah, okay. That's one way to look at it. We'll have to ask the significant other whether having homework helps or not. ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Thank you.
So when are we meeting again?
Probably in the sometime in the 9th, 10th, like